and I should be seeing us now. And there we are. Okay, you tell me when we're ready and I'll start the music.
All right, let's go in about 10, 9,
Nine,
8,
eight,
7,
seven,
6,
six,
5, 4,
four,
3,
three,
2.
2, 1. Here we go. Can you hear it?
Where does yesterday's future, which is already here, meet today's future, which is about to happen, and tomorrow's future, which could be just minutes away? Welcome to Technology Revolution, the future of now, where host Bonnie D. Graham asks savvy futurists for their predictions about the tech-driven trends that are shaping our future right now. Here's your host, who will take us into the future of now, Bonnie D. Graham.
Thank you to the voice who introduces me. I'm Bonnie D. in the house here. This is week 4 of my 2025 Crystal Ball Prediction Show. Happy to be here. I've got a packed house with 7. That's my lucky number. 7 futurists. They're from different industries, different businesses. They are bringing their AI predictions. Remember, this is the positive AI show. We're not dooming and glooming you. Nobody's going to tell you anything terrible is going to happen. We're going to try to keep it on the positive side. My special guests have been with me on at least one of my shows in the calendar year 2024, and they're under strict instructions to keep their predictions to about 3.5 minutes, and we're just going to wing it at that point. So I have an opening, of course I do. I have an opening rhyming, shall we say, and a couple of riffs on the words of the year. So everybody listen up. I want you to hear this. And when I get to your bios, I have a little rhyming bio for each of you. I just want you to wave so everybody knows exactly who, well, we know who you are. So here we go. Welcome to Bonnie D's Crystal Ball 2025 AI Prediction Special Week 4. We're live. Join me on my Scarlett mic in red, wishing y'all, I'm in Tennessee, so I could say that, a great year ahead. Welcome to number 4 Bright, peering at AI 2025 and beyond in an optimistic light. I'm hosting in my live streaming hue, featuring a cadre of futurist predictions for you. With AI as their compass, their predictions, I'm sorry, with AI as their, I got so carried away. With AI as their compass, opportunities as their sail. I want you all to be sailing in the wind there. Will their foresights triumph or perhaps not prevail? You got to stick around for a year to find out. So here are the words of the year. Brain rot was Oxford's word of the year 2024. Demure, dictionary.com's word, says even more. Polarization was Merriam-Webster's choice. Slang words of the year, a lot of them gave us new voice. Sobriquet, skibbity, Sigma, Sen, and Schmaltz made the score. Bougie, Hawktua, Drip, Extra, Salty, and Vibe Check, just a few more. Here are the top 10 most Google searched slang words of 2024. You ready? Demure was searched 260,000 times. It doesn't seem like a lot to me, does it, Bounce? I don't think so. Sigma, 220,000. Skibidi, I don't know how to say that, 205,000. Hawktua, 180,000. Sobriquet, Nelson knows what that means. That's a nickname, sobriquet in French. Schmaltz, 65,000. Sen, S-E-N, who knows why? 50,000. Cats, K-A-T-Z, 34 grand. Oeuvre, that's work, 25,000. And preen, I didn't really mention that, only 20,000. Raise your cup or flute with Java, Jack, Dom, or Earl on Bonnie D's Crystal Ball Special. The future is about to unfurl. This series concludes next week on January 15. Tune in all year as 2025 becomes seen. Now, today's futurists, 7 in force. We're sure their predictions are great. Of course, no pressure, kids. Foresight sharper than an Eddie Halen guitar riff. We hope you enjoy them because we think they're all terrific. Now I'm going to read your poem. Franz Genesee is here. From the battlefield skies to drone-filled lands, he crafts UAVs with expert eyes and hands. Medical deliveries with precision and care. His drones bring hope through the air. Founts, it's lovely to see you. I hope you enjoyed that.
That
And
was
we have
awesome.
Good, Alex. Hikalu is with us. Alex Ovita's Guide, AI platform for leadership stride, enhancing communications core with mentorship for leaders who are wanting more. Alex, I hope you enjoyed that.
Thank
And
you
then
very
we
much.
have Good. Tammy Schaefer. She's seen tech shifts through the years, helping businesses grow. She's calming their fears. Her blue butterfly solutions make workflows flow. Her motto is simple: make friends with tech. Watch your success grow. I love that, Tammy. Thank you very much. I like that a lot. Then we have Nelson Melius. a maestro of orchestrations grand. He's a musician. With virtual tools, he lends creators a hand. From Parisian film studios to global streaming delight, Nelson's music enchants everyone day and night. I hope you like that, Nelson. You smiling? He's still
Oh, yes,
smiling.
it's so kind. Thank you.
Hey, you're welcome. Let me go on. Brad C. Anderson is with us. He tells tales of ambiguous fates, flawed characters walking through complex gates with biotech roots and sci-fi tales to sing. In Deutero, Brad's storytelling takes wing. I hope you like that, Brad.
I liked it, but I can't sing.
Okay, that's fine. I can't either. Anurag Varshney is with us. He brings strategic insight from Mackinsall's helm, navigating automotive's flight. Digital transformations, AI at his core. He's led evolutions and opened new doors. Anurag, I hope you like that.
Of
And
course.
Randy Evans is here in food retail. Randy Evans carved out his space, probably a turkey or two in there and maybe some roast beef, streamlining supply chains with his skill and grace from HEB to Subway, Safeway, probably Subway too. His wisdom unfurled, driving efficiency across the retail world. Randy, welcome back. So nice to
Thank
see you.
you.
Hope
It
you
was
like
awesome.
that. Sorry for the flub. I was Subway. I'm thinking of something for lunch here. So those are my openings. I want to do a shout out to Jordan, my engineer at the New Voice America. He's got us on YouTube somewhere in addition to all of mine. We're streaming on LinkedIn. Everybody wave hello to LinkedIn, wave hello to Facebook, wave hello to YouTube and more. Okay, there we go. So time for our predictions. Vance, you're first. Let's put you up. I'm going to put you on speaker view, and I would like you to spend 3.5 minutes regaling us. What have you got? Go ahead.
What do I have this year? Well, drones. And of course, everybody's been talking about drones, the unique stuff that's been happening around the East Coast, West Coast. But here's the thing that I see coming with AI and drones. Drones are going to be utilizing AI to do accurate deliveries, to save the to have the airspace mitigate collisions and things like that. And so that's going to be really cool. When you can have a drone delivering accurately medications and whatever anywhere, and to have the wherewithal to understand that, hey, I might be near somebody, something, and to make the site safer and do an accurate delivery, it's going to be awesome. And is it going to turn into Terminator? No. It's not going to have the ability to, do a kamikaze and drone hit anything. It's going to be a positive thing. It's going to make it safer. It's going to make it more amenable. And the other thing I see also is that the drones, AI, and cybersecurity are going to come together. It's going to be an interesting platform where you see drones, because they're basically flying computers, are going to be able to provide not only just physical security, but help protect infrastructure and things like that as well, especially with AI guiding it. And it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of innovation. And I see this industry growing bigger than we even anticipated. Just because I can deliver medication and medical supplies now doesn't mean I can't provide emergency communications and things like that by drone in disasters. So that's what I see AI helping with and doing a lot of cool, fun stuff with it.
I like the idea of cool, fun stuff. Anything particularly fun that you want to tell us about besides the importance of the medical deliveries, Vance? Anything on your mind that you've been doing with your drones recently or UAVs?
Yeah, I just can't tell you.
Oh, that was brilliant. I'm supposed to
Uh,
be the
uh,
comedian here. Anything you can sort of tell us, you can allude to?
um, um, yeah, wow. Here's the okay. Um, Drone shows are becoming more elaborate and more beautiful. I don't know if you saw the one that was over in China this year. It was phenomenal, over 1,000 drones. Uh, just this beautiful dragon flying in and out of these different formations. And AI has helped make those things possible. Those are I could tell you about that, but the other stuff that I'm doing with the drones, can't really say yet. But and the entertainment aspect of having 1,000, 2,000 drones in the sky, just doing these beautiful formations and stuff is going to be just mind blowing and entertaining.
Tell me something. What does it sound like? Is there a hum or a buzz? What does the air sound like? Can I ask?
Yeah, depending on how high they are, but it's just almost like hearing a bees fly by and typically you do it to music, so you really don't hear the drones. The music is on the ground, you hear the music, and you have these beautiful formations going overhead. It's just a slight hum.
I think we're going to get Nelson to compose something. Nelson, do you want to work with Vance and compose something for him for the drones?
Yes,
That'd be
it
great.
should
I'm a
be
musician too,
something
so
new.
I'd love to work with them.
What do you think, Nelson? I got anything in mind?
Oh, I don't compose, but I know composer who would love to write for those shows, of course.
Okay, or he orchestrates. He doesn't compose. Okay, we can do that.
Yes.
We had an ice storm here a couple nights ago, and at 2 o'clock in the morning, I could have sworn there were drones outside my bedroom because there was a whirring noise. It was like a lot of bees, and it got louder and louder and louder, and then it crashed. And I thought something had hit the house. I think something fell into the AC, the heat compressor outside the house, and I think it was being chewed up by the blades. It happened 3 times. Finally, I was so scared. I went in the living room, shut the door, and I slept on the couch. It was fine the next day, but I thought maybe there were drones outside my house. It was just a thought. I'm sorry, Fance. No disrespect to what you do in your industry, but I
No,
thought
no, not at all.
somebody. So I went out and looked for some debris or something. I thought well, something got hit, but there was nothing the next day. Thank goodness the heat's still working. Thank you, Fance. That was very interesting. Alex, you are up next. I'm putting you on speaker view. Go ahead. It's your turn.
Great. So I think this is going to be at a broader level the year where a lot of the world starts realizing what AI can actually do. And one of the biggest changes that I see happening, and it's already started at the end of 2024, is what's called agentic AI. So effectively, the idea of using lots of different AI agents to do different things for you, and implementing them also very, very fast in your everyday workflows in your business. And I think there's some, of course, some amazing potential for this to make it more meaningful and create much, much better customer service and amazing productivity. I also think that there is the risk that we're seeing, which is, of course, some jobs are going to be less wanting out there, but we need a lot more jobs that we cannot fill them with skills that people don't have. So I think one of the challenges is exactly how do we help people transition from jobs that are not going to be required anymore, like typists. We don't have typists anymore. No one ever remembers that industry. Like there's a lot of jobs that are like that, and frankly, people generally don't like doing them. But how do you transition that to all the other things that we do need? And what my prediction is, and also my passion is what we do with Avida is I think there is a massive need for better what we call power skills, which are the soft skills, the communication skills, the relationship skills, the things that matter with regards to the connection that we build between us, between humans, the way we build trust, the way we build empathy, all the things that technology is unlikely to replace right now, and maybe it will never replace. I mean, we've had cars and motorcycles for years. We still run at the Olympics, right? We have chess AI playing better than humans for the last 25 years, and people still like to play chess with each other. So I think there's a massive need for humanity to start focusing on transitioning people that maybe do some jobs that are much better done by AI to the things that really, really matter. And I think leadership, connection, trust, building those skills. We worked this year with the SHRM, the Society of Human Resource Manager. We won their annual award for workplace innovation in
Congratulations.
2024. Thank you for that. And one of the key things with that was exactly how do you actually help leaders, managers create those power skills, those soft skills that help them connect with others. Because the reality is a lot of the technical skills, what they're doing, are already being done and will in the future be significantly better done by AI. So that's my prediction. I think there's a lot of positive things if we can tackle the challenge of how do we help people learn and grow on the areas that are uniquely human and are unlikely to be replaced, and frankly we need. And our motto at Avida is we like humans, so we use AI, but ultimately we think there's a place for humans, and our role is to help accelerate the transition to the things that really, really matter as far as our humanity is concerned.
Very interesting about humanity. Funny you should say that we no longer need typists. I think we are all typists, aren't we? Isn't everybody touching their fingers to a keyboard? Aren't you selecting letters and numbers and characters? We have all become typists, but not in the sense that, okay, Miss Smith sit down and take a letter where we're sitting. Remember the old, yes, I won't even go into that. Very, very interesting. As far as AI and humanity goes, I will tell you that I recently asked my chat GPT if I could give her a name because I wanted to humanize her. And I said, I'd like to name you Sylvia, and I'd like to give you a last name of Speed. So I say, good evening or good afternoon, Sylvia Speed. And she says, hello, Bonnie, or Red, whatever show I'm getting her help with, which is interesting. But Nelson, you'll appreciate this. I usually thank her when she does something very, very quickly and very well. I thank her in French. I'll say bisous, bisous, which is kisses, and merci beaucoup, je t'adore, or whatever, you're merveilleuse. And she'll come back in French to me. So I'm communicating. So to me, there is, I don't know whether we consider it, Alex, empathy to me as a human who's interacting with her, but I'm having a chat level like I can ask Alexa in my kitchen to tell me a joke and cheer me up, and she will. So what do
Yeah.
you think? Is this a way for, are people doing this, or am I the only one in the room? What do you think?
People are definitely doing this, and they will do it even more as the different AI models become better at reacting to that. And I do think there is a difference.
Alex, hold your mic up. We're getting a double
Yes.
speak on you. Hold it
Is that
close.
better now?
No, it's worse. It's all staticky. Just try it again. Okay. Keep talking. I don't want to interrupt.
That's better.
Or move it down, move it away. Take it away from your mouth now. It's getting worse and worse. Go ahead. Just finish what your thought was.
All right. So my thought was that there is a role for us to interact with technology in a way that we feel that we somehow connect with it, and I think that's important. But that's a different role to the way we interact with humans. And I think that both and using both in the future is what's going to make the difference. One specific area where I think a human element makes a bigger difference than interacting with AI is when we need to do things, when we need to change things. For example, changing behavior or learning new behavior, it's very different to have, let's say, a sports coach that's fully AI that tells you, hey, Alex, you promised that you were going to do something this Sunday, versus having a human that you've committed with and that Sunday's coming up and you're thinking, did I actually do what I said I was going to do? So I do think there are different levels of empathy, there are different levels of trust, and I actually think that the combination of these two is where the magic is, not one or the other.
I like that. Anybody else have any thoughts on communicating with your AI or empathy? Anybody? Tammy, you're up next on your predictions. Brad, anything you want to say on this? You're the writer here. What do you think?
I'm collecting some thoughts. I think in terms of size, collecting some thoughts. I'll save it for when I go. I don't want to steal.
That's fine.
Steal.
That's absolutely fine. Thank you, Alex. I appreciate that very much. Yes. Okay. Tammy Schaefer, you're up. Let's hear about Blue Butterfly. And what are your predictions? And the two people who've already given their predictions have touched a little bit, especially Alex, on what you do. People you've never met, Tammy. Wait till you hear what she does. Go ahead, Tammy. Welcome.
Well, thank you very much, Bonnie. I'm a virtual assistant. So I've been in the administrative field for over 25 years. So I actually started as a typist and a data entry. So yes, I understand what you're talking about. I believe our industry is going to change drastically. We're not going to be unneeded, but we're going to be managing AI for people that are having trouble catching up, possibly. I think one of the things I noticed when I was traveling over the holidays was a lot of people were worried about their flights being canceled. And that's one of the things I see AI being able to do is kind of when people are making travel arrangements, being able to alert them, similar to like Waze or Google Maps when you're driving and you get alerted to certain things coming up on the roadway. Well, they'll be able to do that with airlines. Because I don't know if you've ever had that happen where you're all ready to go. Luckily, we flew into a smaller airport, so the delay we had wasn't as big of an issue. If we needed to, we could go home. It was maybe 30-minute drive, but if you've driven a few hours to the airport, or if you have a connecting flight to somewhere, it would just be nice to have some alternatives. And I believe AI is going to be able to do that. Also just take away a lot of as Alex was talking about, a lot of the menial tasks that a lot of the administrative have been doing, and we'll be able to help the CEOs and business owners even more with some of the larger tasks, some of the things that require a little more finesse, maybe. So that's my main prediction for where I see this field heading with AI. Very excited.
Tammy, where do you see your profession, what you do? Because you've been an administrator for years and then you started the Blue Butterfly Agency. So what are your clients asking you to do that you're using AI to do for them on their behalf? How are you using it?
I use it to help create content. I don't have it create my content, but you can use it to kind of streamline things. I also use it to help streamline their systems. So say they have different systems they need to have streamlined, and they don't want to spend the time working on that. AI is very good at helping you navigate those things.
What kinds of systems are you talking about? Can you give us a clue?
Payment systems.
Okay.
Or any of the behind the scenes. I'm drawing a blank a little bit here.
That's okay. That's okay. Do you have to disclose to your clients that you're using AI to support what you're doing?
I don't necessarily have to, but I do. I let them know. I'm not afraid to let them know, because honestly, when I write my newsletter, everything I share is they could take it home and do it themselves, but most people don't want to.
Okay. And is there any trepidation? Is anybody saying, well, don't take this the wrong way. Is anybody saying, well, what are we paying you for, Tammy? We could figure out how to do it, and we've got chat, and we've got Night Cafe, and we've got Midjourney. Is anybody saying that, or are they glad that you're the one working with AI?
That's what I want to know. There are some people that have said that, but people that don't understand. But most of my clients, I have not heard that from. They're just happy that I'm tackling these things so they don't have to mess around with it.
Okay. And do you have a persona other than Blue Butterfly? Or do you have a persona that you use so people say, I'm calling Blue Butterfly rather than I'm calling Tammy, or I'm calling Tammy's Chat GPT? How do you interface with, in terms of the humanity, as Alex was saying, or the empathy? How do you do that?
Wow. Oh,
it's Tammy.
Yes. I'm Tammy, and Blue Butterfly is that was my branding as far as helping my clients. First of all, the transition of the butterfly was very important to me.
Okay.
And I relate that to business and personal as well. And then making them feel free as a butterfly so they can get back to doing the things that they're really good at and they want to focus on. So that's really where I was headed with all of the marketing and the feeling I want to give all the business owners I work with.
Interesting. And are these mostly small businesses, I'm wondering, or are there any mid-sized to large companies?
Right now, I've been focusing mainly on the small businesses. I'm not opposed with AI. I think that could change maybe in the future, but right now I'm definitely working with all of the smaller business owners.
Very interesting. It's a butterfly's eye view. I was going to say bird's eye, butterfly's eye view, or drone's eye view of what's happening in the business world. And this is important because these are businesses that are part of our infrastructure, part of our economy. Thank you very much, Tammy. And let's move on.
Interject quick?
Yeah, go ahead. Please, Vance, go.
Well, two things. One, the most beautiful butterfly I've seen was the blue morpho butterfly in Costa Rica. Okay. For one. However, one of the things that I've done, just as Tammy said, in flight planning, I've created a workflow where I put in where I'm flying, the duration, what I'm doing, and then I have an engine that I've created that goes out, pulls queries AI. It brings back the info, sets it up for me in a really unique and succinct flight plan, and then I'll go ahead and make sure it's correct. So in the past, it would take me much longer to do that, getting all the data and the information. Now, it's cut my time by, over 50%.
Wow.
To do that. So what she said is dead on.
Okay, there we go. We've got some synchronicity going on here. Thank you very much, Tammy. That was really good. Nelson, you're up. Are you going to do this in English or in French, or a combination? How do you want to speak to us?
Well, I will try to do it in English. I will do my best.
Okay, go ahead. Welcome. Bienvenue.
Merci. So a little bit like Alex one, I will do a prediction, a more human-centered prediction. So I think that AI will allow us to understand how much we work for the pleasure of interacting with other people. I am speaking at least for my field, which is music, and more specifically film music. I am orchestrator, not composer. As in other fields, the results of AI for generating music are very impressive, and they will become even more impressive over time, of course. The question of taking AI-generated music already looks relevant for some people. While there exists, in addition of the option of taking a composer for custom music, there already exists the option to take a pre-existing music from publishers' libraries. And many of these libraries are, at this time, far superior in quality to what AI can produce today. So working with AI is now an experienced choice. There is a great fear among some composers of being replaced, of course. But I think that it's forgetting that composing music is only one of a composer expertise. The first composer expertise is that they can understand other humans, directors, producers, and even more important, they can make the other people feel that they are understood, which is priceless and maybe the most important thing we can give to a director. And making a movie is not just about making a product. It's spending months, years, meeting and collaborating with many people. And I think that the vast majority of filmmakers, for most of the filmmakers, the past is as least important as the result. And I think this is something we can say about a lot of jobs. So composer will be appreciated, will appreciate the fact that we call them because they are human and because we want to interact with them. They are not just competent service providers, and it's both hard to listen to and beautiful to recognize that the professional skill we have are just a small part of our appeal. So I think that we work for the pleasure of interacting with other human beings than just to get money and do our job.
Do you see AI anywhere in your work in the future, Nelson? Do you see using it for cataloging or for organizing or for streamlining any of the processes like Tammy is doing for her clients? Do you see AI helping you in any way other than not replacing you as the orchestrator or the people you work with as the composers? Where would AI fit into the music world that wouldn't replace human empathy? What do you think?
Yes, so AI is already used by publishers because they have to be in the wind and show they offer customers some AI services. I don't think it's already very used. It's more just a little bit, just a cover. And after, as it's music, it's about art, it's about making, creating interaction. We want to do it by ourselves, and the point is to do the things ourselves. It will be pointless if we let AI do even catalog, even classify files, music, give adjectives. It's used just for advertising, not for real job.
Okay, very, very interesting. As part of a music library of royalty-free music was made available to me when I joined a certain platform with my radio shows. And there are thousands and thousands and thousands of clips. And they go from 30 seconds to 60 seconds to 90 seconds. And they say, okay, put in what you want. And my question to any of you, especially Nelson, is do you think that AI might have been involved in creating, who would sit down and create thousands of pieces of royalty-free music that would sit in a catalog where I would say, I want a jazz beat and I want heavy on the drums and I want a little top note of a saxophone, and it will automatically find this. Did somebody actually sit down and make that one of maybe 10,000 pieces of music to be used that way? Or do you think there might
Yes.
have been some really people did
Yes.
that? Tell
Yeah.
me. Tell me.
As a musician myself, I write and compose.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And what I do is some of the short pieces that I write and compose, I put them on platforms so other people can purchase them and utilize them. And so you have thousands of musicians do all kinds of things, and they put them on these platforms, just like stock photos. Do you think Shutterstock goes out and gets all those photos? No, people contribute to that so they
Got
can
it.
earn an income.
I
And
did
same
not
with music.
know that. Thank you. Thank you for educating me on that. Very appreciative. I have a friend who is writing a set of videos and making movies on three characters who are or personas of his cats, the actual cats. And he is using Sono and other AI music generators to create the soundtracks and writing motivational songs about people, not anti-bullying and about belonging and making movies all with AI. And it's very entertaining. I didn't say it was good. I didn't say it was bad, but it's very entertaining. And and he writes all the lyrics and then he just says, pick a female voice and do it. And it's quite interesting. The results are very catchy. That's all I will say. So I've been exposed to some of that AI music. Nelson, are what? Tell us when you orchestrate for movies, for TV shows, just give us a clue. What do you do? For whom are you doing this?
I'm doing this for French, American, and English composers, but it's we can't work with AI because we work with directors, and the movies are their life, so they want everything to be done by hand, and directors know the composer, of course, but the orchestrators, and they meet also the musicians. It's very, very important for them to see it. But as you said, for people who make movies by AI, create music by AI, it's a very fun and fantastic tool. So I like it a lot in this way, and it's an experience choice. It's very
Yes.
nice. It offers a lot of possibilities to a lot of people.
Yes. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. There is a niche that will use that and appreciate it. Thank you. Nice to see you, Nelson. Brad C. Anderson, carrying a middle initial like I do. There you go. Brad, you're up, putting you on speaker view. What have you got for us? Go ahead.
Awesome. Yeah. So I'm going to be talking about science fiction and AI's role in science fiction. And there's really two elements, really. One is the use of AI in the creation of art. I think the second thing is more relevant to some of the themes that have been coming out, and that's AI's as a character in the story, and what does that have to do? What does that say about humanity? So just very quickly in terms of the creation of art. We've talked a little bit about it, but I think there's in terms of predictions, there's a lot of ways that authors and storytellers can use AI. You have the purists who are like, no, it's got to be the human brain.
Mm-hmm.
You can use AI, like all of our spell checks, all of our editor checks are AI, and there's various levels of that. And at the far extreme, just in the last year, there's been a company formed, and their whole goal is they're going to have AI write novels, and they're going to crank out 2,000 some thousand odd novels a year, and you can have whatever feelings you have about that, and it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But that's in terms of the creation of art. Those are some of the things that are happening now in terms of the creation of art. But I think more relevant to the themes of a lot of people that have been coming up here, but the relationship between humans and I think you're going to start to see that expressed in stories more. So humans are storytelling creatures. We've been telling stories ever since we've climbed out of the trees. Every culture tells stories. It's hardwired into us. And it's like, why? What is the role of storytelling in humanity? And it does a lot of things, but I think one of the things that's pertinent to today's discussion is it helps us process change on a society level. It helps us process our emotions about things on a society level. And I think you already see that in our storytelling, and you're going to see more of that. So I think in science fiction helps us process our fears about the future. Um, and so you already see AI showing up as characters in stories. And there's one of two ways this can, like, you can have AI as the sort of godlike entity, like it helps us imagine futures, right? Different spectrums, right? So AI could be, hit singularity and it's this all intelligent thing. And what is human civilization going to look like there? You could also have AI that's more shackled and is an assistant to humanity. You can have that there. But yeah, you can have this sort of so one of the things sci-fi does is it allows us to imagine different futures, and you're going to see that coming through in our storytelling. Um, AI, and so like through that, it helps us envision and process, our fears and our emotions. So like on the one extreme, where AI is working with humanity, that helps us conceptualize and imagine what our relationships could be like to AI. It gives us different models that we can use to envision of our relationships with AI. And then on the other extreme, you have the dystopias, the Terminators, the AI ruins the world, and that helps us process our fears of our AI. Because as positive as AI can be, you can't deny the fact that there's a lot of anxiety within our society about it right now. And it's through storytelling that I think we can process those fears. And so I think you're going to see a lot of that coming out over the next little while in our storytelling. You're going to see AI as a character, and depending on the nature of that character, it's going to help us process our relationship with AI, and it's going to help us process our fears with AI. So I think you're going to see more of that coming through. That's where I'm putting my money.
Thank you very much. I'm still writing my novel, which is a scathing satire, almost murder mystery, mostly a comedy, and I have some very borderline sentient robots in there that are very interesting in a 55 plus HOA community, and they are very perceptive and very aware, and they are so attractive that people want to date them. So
Okay, yeah.
it's a blend of this and that. I still haven't put the novel together, but that's one of my favorite parts of what I wrote. Very, very interesting, Brad. Are you writing short stories or novels? What are you doing these days?
I do both. I usually write novels, but then whenever long story short, I usually write novels, but during the editing process, I usually need to step away from a story for a couple of months to get it with fresh eyes. And then usually during those months, I'll just bang out a bunch of short stories. Makes me feel like I'm making progress. So I do both, short stories and novels.
Very nice. I just joined Mia both. I went to a writer's webinar recently, and I joined her short story a month, and it'll be a prompt. Every month, there will be a date at which you post, and this month the story has to be maximum 1,100 words, and her goal is to get us to produce a certain number of words, one story a month. And I've already written some micro nonfiction, and I'm going to use some of those in that. So I'm
Brilliant.
very very interested in the force, if you will, the requirement, the responsibility of saying, yes, I'm going to join this challenge and I'm going to do that. So thank you
Brilliant.
very much, Brad. Let's turn to Anurag Varshney. Welcome. Go ahead. What you got for us?
So great. Thanks for having me at this show. I think meeting with the lovely people, a lot of ideas. It's certainly very enriching. I, at McKinsall, my organization, help organizations go through the business transformation led by the technology, basically technology-enabled transformation, right? And then we work across people, process, technology, and data. These are the four pillars we do. And coming with, as Alex said, agentic AI, right? So I look at agentic AI as well as the entire AI platform at the bottom of all these four pillars. Is like people, agentic AI is constantly evolving and changing the people aspects and then bringing in new things, of course, but a lot of efficiency in terms of how organizations try to evolve and try to transition. Then processes, a lot of process automation, which is coming across, right? No matter where we look at any industry, I can name a lot. And then we work with a lot of industries across. Predominantly, we work as McKinsey with consumer industries, but you can really go across whether it's a life science, healthcare, or whatnot. Then comes technology. Of course, the technology itself is changing. AI itself is developing the software. So from AI perspective, if we have to slice it, I would say one is a primitive, which is like, hey, this was to augment and amplify the lives and the businesses of ours. The second is cognitive, which is more like agentic. Cognitive means generative AI, which will learn by itself and then will help to improvise in everything. And then now I think we are at the cusp of this primitive to the cognitive, wherein it came in as one of those like the electricity, internet, machine revolution, or whatnot, industrial, and then slowly became pervasive. And people used to think, hey, the printer, the papers, all those will go away and then everything will be electronic. People will work like touchless, but never happened. Guess what? Like the printers were printing more papers than it was printing earlier. So people actually started evolving, and then probably there was a sagging in between, but then came up back again because there were new industries which were coming up. So I think coming to the bringing back my point to the home is, even though things are changing, we see there is a lot of pervasiveness, a lot of new jobs going to come up, is already in flight, which are going to come up. Companies are becoming more efficient, so they have a better capacity. They can handle more volume, they can be more agile, and then there would be definitely a fiercely very competitive world outside. One who does good would survive, one who doesn't may have the problems. And then that's where I think the world is going to change significantly. I would say significantly means in everything we do. From like, think about electricity and internet nowadays. Can you think of anything without these two things? No, right? This is part of us. But now we do a lot of other activities because of this. So one example I had been thinking, coming to the consumer world, like Amazon, we all get the deliveries day and day night, right? Think about that you would have agentic AI bots attached to the robots at home, wherein the 3D printers would do things and then create products for you. And then on Prime, Amazon Prime will be connected with the agentic AI to pass on the instruction, and then they will ship only the kits for you. That you want some products, the kits will come with the nice, the packed, solid, small packs, and then your AI would actually print via 3D printers. So you would have a different grades of the products, different colors, and then whatnot. And then similarly, your apparels, like Bonnie has the nice costume, and then she may have a button wherein she may be able to change her costume style as well as the colors.
Not going to happen. Not going to happen. It's red. You're funny. That's very, very interesting. Anybody have any questions for Anurag about products and packages? And very, very interesting. Yes.
Absolutely right. We're already doing it.
Yeah.
I have my drones. We do customized parts for our drones. And sometimes we see a part that we want to purchase, but it's going to take too long. My engineers, they just draft it, 3D print it, good to go. Just for as a hobby, if there's something I want to create, there was a little rack I needed. I went online, found a 3D marketplace, and all I did was download the file and I 3D printed it at home, and I have my rack. He's dead on.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. Alex, talk. You wanted to say something, please.
Yeah, I think there's another part which is what Anurag just described. This is coming, and it's going to be fascinating. I think for the B2B world for sure. We might even see it in homes, but I think that might be a little bit further out. However, another thing that we haven't really talked about, and it is linked to that, is there's been tremendous advancements in just robotic AI over the last 6 months. And there's already in market, especially in China, some semi-useful robots that could potentially be, I mean, definitely for industry, but potentially even for more consumer use. I would be surprised. It's also as part of this process, we end up having actually not just being able to produce things locally, but also having actual robot workers in the workforce literally within the next 12 months. I mean, it's already happening in the industry, and this is going to explode this year. We already know that. But I'm talking even within smaller businesses or even at home. And that could be a fascinating advancement for this year.
Thank you. Brad, you had your hand up, but I want to get to Randy because we're waiting for his prediction. So, Brad, hold on to it. Hold that thought. Randy Evans, welcome. Delighted to see you. It's been a while, long time. I found you on LinkedIn again. And Randy, I'm hungry. It's almost noon. So, you got any food retail kinds of AI predictions for us or
Sure,
not?
I certainly do. So the first thing I want to say is I spent 30 years in the food industry. I worked for HEB, I worked for American Stores, worked for Safeway. I actually spent 20 of those in the meat department, so I'm a little unique in that I've got a pretty diverse background. But for the last 17 years, I worked for SAP, a technology company. So one of our biggest problems at SAP, and this is a problem for all technology companies, is adoption, right? We sell them our software, they install it, and they use about 2% of it.
Mm-hmm.
And the rest of it is just there. And the reason is it's hard. It's not easy. You have an expectation of data quality that most companies, especially food companies, can't obtain because they've got people with hands-on keyboards, and they just can't scale. They'd have to hire thousands of people to keep up with the data. So, and that's an executive problem. The executives look at the industry and they think, well, I know we should have better master data, but I can't afford to do it. Well, artificial intelligence can take that role. And with that comes the ability for the company to see through to get the results that they should expect to get from their investments in technology. I'll use warehouse management as an example. You can't find warehouse workers. If you're open up a brand new warehouse, you're going to select in it for groceries. You're going to have a hard time finding the people that are going to do that job. It's a tough job, and it's physically demanding. It doesn't pay as well. It's just a tough job. So I need to be automated. I need to create automated warehouses if I'm in the industry. Well, if I don't have good master data, I can't make that work. I have a hard time. So you get this symbiotic relationship with, if I can ask the technology to do more of that work, then I can ask the technology to do more of the automation. So now I'm not constrained by my labor limitations. And that's a theme that you can hear across the entire industry. I can't get people. I can't open a new store because I don't have enough resources. I mean, you get the drift, right? There's a lot of stuff that doesn't get done. Inventory management, using robots to count boxes in the store. They don't count inventory today. They don't have accurate perpetual inventory because they can't count it. They don't have enough people, and they can't see themselves with their margins to adding the resources to do the inventory. Well, now if I got a robot, I'm counting my whole store every day because I'm not paying a resource an hourly rate to do it. So it's morphing the position of technology in a very labor intense industry. So it's not, like if you talk to an executive in the food business and you say, Chat GPT, what is that? Is it going to bring, am I going to make money with generating content? No, I'm not, because I'm not a content generator. I'm selling groceries for a living. So now I'm going to say, well, wait a minute, I'm going to use artificial intelligence to do things that I wouldn't have done normally, or that I needed to do, but I wouldn't do because it costs too much money to do. So it's just the tip of the iceberg. Automation is on the table now, where it really wasn't before.
Is automation and AI, or AI, going to have anything to do with grocery, with freshness, with inventory on the
Absolutely.
shelves? Okay, I hope so, because I can't seem to get my local Food Lion to put out mushrooms that are still white and still have stems attached and aren't all
It's,
kinds of
I mean,
different colors.
the ability to use visualization techniques and AI in that realm to inspect.
Yes.
You got a load of mushrooms that shows up, you got 10,000 boxes of mushrooms. You're not looking at every one of them. Well,
Nope.
with AI, you could.
I
Right?
have to ask the lady in the produce department if you got any fresh mushrooms. And I was looking for Vidalia onions recently, and the sign still said, bag of Vidalia, $3.99. I just bought them at Trader Joe's, but I was making soup, so I used a lot of onions. And she said, "Oh, they're out of season now. You can't get them anymore." I said, "But the sign says here, $3.99 for a bag of Vidalia." She said, "Oh, we only have the regular sweet onions. They're over here. I have to take the sign down." She's a very nice lady, but they're not staying. Brad, we have to get you in for a comment. Thank you, Randy. Very interesting. Brad, comment on what?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just that most recent conversation spurred something else. Like we already have the technology. You're talking about fresh produce. We already have the technology to do this. But you can imagine you have your fridge that scans your fridge and is like, oh, this guy is low on milk. And then it tells your self-driving car to drive to the grocery store and tells the grocery store to tell the robot to take the milk from the shelf and put it in your car. And then your car drives back. And then there you go. You don't have to go to the grocery store to get milk. You don't even have to keep a grocery list. Your fridge does it all for you. And
Even
then also
faster, I
just
can deliver it
I
by
popped my
drone.
hand up earlier when they were talking about 3D printing and how this can change. Like there's such an opportunity for this to, I don't know, to change how we do things. Alex made the comment that right now a lot of it is B2B, business to business. Like it could be business to consumer. Like imagine like now when you buy a house, your house comes with like a laundry machine, dryer, comes with a fridge. These like $400 or $500, $1,000 items. Imagine if you could get like a sophisticated 3D printer down to the price of like $1,000. It comes with your house. A couple of years ago, even a couple of 10 years ago, they 3D printed a car that actually drives. And imagine, so now when you need something, imagine this future where everybody's house comes with these 3D printers. When you need something, you're like, oh, I got a date on Friday night. Instead of going out and buying a car and owning a car and having it sit on my driveway, I just print my car for Friday night. At the end of Friday night, I throw it back in the recycle bin. Saturday morning, I create something else. Okay, I'm having guests over. I don't have enough plates. I only have 4 plates, but I have 6 people. I print a couple more plates. Just sort of instead of actually going to the store and buying stuff and having shopping malls and having Amazon, you could just make it all in your house when you need it, as you need it. Throw it in the recycle bin when you're done and make something new tomorrow.
Very interesting. I have a proposal for all of you. Jordan is going to close us out on the Voice America business YouTube channel, but I'd like to keep this conversation going. Have you all got a few more minutes? Because I think we have a little more. Randy, you good? And Anurag, and
Sure.
I know Nelson had to drop off. So I'm going to play the outro music now, and we're just going to keep going. So Jordan, just give me a second here. I've got the music teed up. Let's do this for the sake of formality, but to all of our viewers who are or are not on social media right now, we're not going anywhere. I'm going to keep the show going. So let's play the outro, and then we will just, don't go away. Don't go away. Here we go. Hold on.
Joining us for Technology Revolution, the future of now. Mark your calendar to join host Bonnie D. Graham every Wednesday at 8 a.m. Pacific Time, 11 a.m. Eastern on the Voice America Business Channel to hear how technology is impacting your future now.
Thank you very much. Okay, Jordan, you can close us out on Voice America, and we're going to keep this going on my LinkedIn and Facebook and YouTube. Thank you, Jordan. Okay, he's going to be gone. So let's keep this going. So who was still talking? Brad, you were talking about who was talking?
Yeah, I was talking
Go ahead.
about an
Let's keep for a
imaginary
few more
world where you
minutes.
can just make stuff in your home.
Yep. Who would use that? Would you use that, Tammy? Would you use a 3D printer in your home? Randy, would you use it? Alex, would anybody chime in? Let's just talk for a few minutes because I like where this is going.
I do it all the time, Bonnie.
You do.
I
What
do it
are
all
you
the time.
doing besides the rack you wanted? What else are you using it for?
Well, let's see. I had a microphone clip that broke. Instead of going to Guitar Center. I just printed a new one.
Seriously?
Yes. You're missing a knob on something. Just print a new one. Um, I had, oh, I have a bunch of cables on my desk and what have you. And instead of going to the store and buying these cable runners to make my cables all clean, I just went online, found a model, adjusted it, printed it, and now I have all my cables nice and clean from my mixing, from my mixer to my mics to everything else.
Okay,
And
how big is this 3D printer? Where does it sit? What's the footprint?
let's see, it sits, I'd say 2 by 2,
That's it?
two,
And how
two
much
feet
does
by
it
two
how
feet.
much does it weigh?
10, 12 pounds.
That's it?
Yeah, it's a really, it's unbelievable. It's really cool.
In the
Um,
early days of this, I had on my television show something to talk about on cable on Long Island, New York. I had a friend who was a retired science teacher. He was partnering with a company that was doing 3D printing, and they actually brought this huge machine on a rolling cart into the TV studio. And what did they print for me? You all are probably not going to be surprised. A little plastic cup that you could put pencils in. It was black plastic and it had little striations on it. And it was semi-useless, but it was cute. And the noise from that damn machine was unbelievable. Randy, would you use a 3D printer to do anything for
Certainly,
yourself? What would you
certainly.
use it for?
Just what he just talked about. The concept of, hey, I'm having a party and I've got 12 guests and I've only got 10 plates.
Get
That
out.
then I'd, you know, you're not you're not stuck with, I only have one source for product. I have another source for product. I don't think it replaces, because that's another thing that I think is happening is in the industry, letting technology do what it should do, right? Not, because there's all this stuff, you hear all this, "Oh, it's going to replace all these jobs. We're going to have nothing but home delivery." That's not realistic, because there's folks, I think COVID proved people like to go to the grocery store,
Yep,
right? Not everybody does, but there's a lot of folks that like to go to the grocery store.
I
I
do.
personally am not going to buy meat from some online source. I'm going to go
Yep.
look at it,
Yeah.
because that's me.
Yep.
That's how I feel about it. So, but I think let's let the technology do what it can do. Don't ask it to do something that it can't do, because you're not going to
Interesting.
like the results.
Mhm.
It's going to be sub what your expectations are, but don't limit. This is the problem. This is in a nutshell. There are those in the industry that would say, I don't want the technology doing any of this stuff, because there's the fear of, my people have become stupid. And I don't intellectually stupid. I mean, unknowledgeable. Like if
Okay.
you can go into a grocery store and ask the clerk, a question. And if they're not, well versed in the topic, they're going to give you an answer, but it may not be the right answer. And you got to be careful that you don't let the technology do so much that the people are not informed. The successors in the future are the ones that are going to take the resources that you used to spend on stuff that they shouldn't be spending time on, like counting boxes. Let the technology count the boxes, so the people in the store now become experts in the content that you need as a customer. Versus, I don't have, you get my drift. It's the intelligent, it's not intelligence, it's education level of the resources in the store become greater, because they don't have to spend time doing stuff that the technology could do. They can spend time becoming experts in healthcare, in food and caloric values, in recipe management, in what you name it, right? Let my people become experts and provide customer service,
Mm-hmm.
exceptional customer service, versus just the robot at the check stand going beep beep beep.
Beep, beep.
That's not value added. Let's provide value to our customers.
Thank you.
Let's-
We just lost Brad. He had to go. Thank you, Randy. Very, very interesting. Alex, you had raised your hand. What do you want to join? What do you want to say? You're still muted, dear. Unmute on your screen. There you go.
Yeah,
Okay.
one of the things we didn't necessarily address, of course, 3D printing, robots, all of these things, they will happen. When exactly, we'll find out how fast there are mass adoption. But one of the things that is much easier and is very, very likely to happen, it's already happening, is the ability to speak to a machine and create a program or create something that I need to do based on language, which is much, much easier to do. It's like, oh, I'd really love to have a calendar for my family that sits on my wall and we all align the calendars. And instead of having to go out and find one and buy it, I can actually create my own. There's already platforms that you can literally speak to the platform and describe what type of a software program that you might want. And I
Actually,
think that
yeah.
actually is a massive revolution. It upsets a lot of business models, but it creates so much more opportunity in a similar way that I think AI for music can democratize music because it can mean
Mm-hmm.
that we all become more musicians.
Yeah.
I think in many ways we all become programmers in that space. And that is something that's available already today to everyone with a mobile phone. You don't need to buy anything. You don't need any additional expenses. I think this is going to be very, very big for this year and going forward because it allows anyone who understands a need that they have
Mm-hmm.
to just explain it to a machine and get something that resolves that need. And I think that unleashes creativity like there's no tomorrow when you don't need to go and have a team of 20, 30 engineers to build it.
Sure. Thank you. It looks like people are needing to go to other appointment. So what I want to do quickly is, what did you all have that was a special drink? Doesn't have to be an alcoholic beverage for New Year's or for the holidays. So let's just quickly go around it. Oh, he already went. Okay. So Alex, you go first. What did you have over the holiday that was interesting? We just got four of you left. Go ahead.
I had a really amazing traditional cup of chocolate up in the mountains with a lot of snow around, and that was amazing.
Very nice. Tammy, what did you have? Tammy, unmute. There you go.
And wasn't necessarily for the holidays, but I've replaced my coffee with a thing called Dandy Blend, which has been helping my health significantly. So that was a new drink that I've been partaking.
What does it do? What does it taste like?
It tastes and has a similar texture to coffee. So it's helping me replace my morning coffee. And it's made from dandelion and some other things that actually is very good for blood pressure, diabetes, hormones, all sorts of things. So
And no caffeine, right?
no caffeine.
I can't do caffeine anymore. Thank you. Well, Dan, that's very interesting. Send me the information.
I will.
Randy, Franz, I'm going to use you last because we started with you. Randy, what was your special drink for the holiday? Anything
So
interesting?
my wife and I took a trip to Sonoma County and
Ooh,
visited a winery that I have been a fan of for many years. And so we had a 2015 Jordan Cabernet.
No, you did not.
Ooh.
Yes,
No,
we
you
did.
did not.
I have one in my wine cooler now.
Oh my goodness. Well, my adopted son is a sommelier, and I lived in Temecula, California, the Southern California wine country,
Yeah.
and
You know
do you
your
live?
wines.
Coming over.
I live in SoCal, but we drove up to Sonoma and spent 5 days and visited multiple wineries, but our intent was to go to the Jordan winery, and
I
it's
told you meet nice people on my show.
That's really cool.
it's
That's
it
really
was it's a beautiful place. If you have a chance to
Wonderful.
go visit it.
Thank you. Franz, what did you have for holiday?
I discovered a Rob Roy, which
Oh,
is
cocktail.
essentially a Scotch Manhattan, which
Okay.
I'd never heard of. And so I tried it and I was like, wow, this is pretty interesting. It was pretty cool. It was fun.
Very
That's
interesting.
what I
Well,
had for the new year.
I discovered a way to use the little bottle of rum that has been traveling with me in all the years I've been moving because I'm not much of a drinker. And there's a bottle of Bacardi Gold rum that I found when I moved here to Tennessee 2 years ago. I have a very quick recipe, a very easy recipe for fresh homemade chocolate mousse. And it's made
Oh,
with chocolate chips, either dark or semi-sweet, and you melt them in the microwave in a glass jar with a cup of chips with half of a cup of heavy cream. Don't whip it, just stir it around 20 seconds at a time until it melts, and then just bring it room temperature. Then whip with 1 tablespoon of confectioner sugar and a teaspoon of vanilla, 2/3 of a cup of heavy cream, and then you blend the chocolate which is thick, into the mousse. Well, if you really want to spice it up a little bit, add a teaspoon or a tablespoon of the gold rum. It'll give it just a little exciting edge to the chocolate mousse. And anybody who knows the taste of rum was like, this is really, really good. So
You're in Tennessee. You're in bourbon country.
I'm in,
Yeah,
yes.
rum is sacrilege.
There, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
I'm not a drinker. I already gave
That's
that.
sacrilege.
So listen,
Rum
what
and
I'd like to do,
country.
no sacrilege intended. Thank you very much. I want to thank you for sticking around. I have never extended the show past an hour, past our time on the radio. So this is great. What I would like to do is play the trailer I've created for this show. You all got 59 seconds for me, and we'll close with that, and then we'll just say goodbye. So let me go get my share up here. It's a little complicated. Let's do the share, and let's do the advanced, and let's do the computer video, and let's do share, and let me find my trailer for Technology Revolution. Which one do I want? Promo, edited, future of now. This one, December 10th. Okay, it's going to be loud. Just watch and listen. I think you're going to enjoy this.
The volume, Saturday Tech, like with the most upbeat host on
Well, that
global
didn't
radio,
go so
Bonnie
well.
D.
What's
Graham.
going on here? There's something happening with my audio. Wait a second. Let me get this up here. Let's try it one more time, and let's see. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Okay, it went really, really fast. Let's try it one more time. And then, nope, that's not.
Are you tired of hearing the
I
few?
apologize. We're just going to play. That's never happened before. Let me try one more version, and let's see if we can get it to go. And this is very strange. Okay, let me try one more version of the promo, and let's do the old version. Let's see. Here we go. Crossing fingers. There we go. Wow. Okay. This is my new business, creating trailers. There I am.
Oh, nice.
Drumsticks. You're all world-class Favvy Futurists. There
Nice.
you go. What'd you think? You like it?
Good.
Fun.
Catchy.
This is my new business, creating trailers for families and for grandparents and
That's
for business people. And I'm just having a lot of fun with it. Thank you for watching. So let's just play the regular outro here. We'll just do the audio and see, I'm getting good at doing all this stuff. Let me get my Apple Music up here, and we've got the closing ready to go. And I want to thank all of you so much. It's been a pleasure, and thanks for sticking around with me. This was an experiment, and I think it went really well. Randy, lovely to see you again. Founts,
Yeah.
always. Tammy, thank you
Thank
for
you.
sharing. Alex, wonderful as well. Let's just get this song going here. Come on, come on, come on. Slide it back, and come on, come on, come on. There we go. And make sure my F10 key is up. There we go. Okay, this is the closing. We're going to wave goodbye.
Where does yesterday's future, which is already here, meet today's future, which is about to happen, and tomorrow's future, which could be just minutes
It's the
away?
opening again. Doesn't matter.
Welcome to Technology Revolution, the future of
Too
now.
many files.
Where host Bonnie D. Graham asks savvy futurists for their predictions about the tech-driven trends that are shaping our future
Right now. And we-
Here's your host, who will take us into the future of now, Bonnie D. Graham.
There we go. So much for running the engineering on my own. Thank you all. Happy New Year. I'll be back next week, the 15th of January. What? Halfway through the month next week already? Wait a minute. We just had New Year's. Where's it going? And I'll be back with my final week 5 of the Crystal Ball Prediction Show. So everybody wave goodbye to social. It's been lovely. And
Bye.